Hi, Masajati here with Mas on Sunday. Welcome. It's a great Sunday, isn't it? Welcome to all you XIers. This week, we're going to be talking about the secret to success in everything you do and why achieving success can actually destroy you. Why secrets to success has nothing to do with what experts like Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, or Jordan Peterson, or anybody like that say it, talk about. And then also how motivational and spiritual techniques taught by, say, Sadguru, Deepak Chopra, and all those other Joe Dispenza and all those other individuals or spiritual practices, what you can do to get supercharged results on that. So really in-depth topic. I know it's going to push a lot of you. Some of you might not believe in it, but that's okay. If you don't believe in it, it's all right. Whether you believe in it or not, nature has a certain set of rules, and you can't break those rules. So if nature, for example, is against your rules, nature always wins. Okay. So again, if your life is not working, you might want to try something else. You might want to try to gravitate towards those things that might work, or study nature, by the way. So these are all laws. Literally, there are laws, and you can't break these laws. They're not like human laws where it's like, well, because of this and this, you can get away with it. You can't. There's no exceptions to the rule on nature's laws. And that's what becoming exponentially intelligent is all about, or XI as I call it. By the way, you can take a look at, for those who are new, welcome. You can take a look at some of the logistics or some of the laws on the XI podcast, Exponential Intelligence Podcast. There's a ton of free stuff on that, and then also on Moss on Sunday on, say, previous meditations. On top of that, we also do a meditation, a deep level, what I call a hyper meditation, where it actually starts to, say, edit or start to change your genetic makeup. Now, there's not science behind that, but there's mounting evidence that your genetics can change. So that's what we're hoping to do more research on. For those whose genetics have changed, who's been here, the XIers, comment in. Notice how you've changed. Some of you, your eye color has even changed. Definitely your facial structure, your body structure. You're not aging like your parents. Those are all signs that I would believe that your genetic makeup has changed. So again, for those who have transformed like that, using XI, the principles of XI, which is basically the principles of the universal laws here, comment in. All right. So a lot of good things happening. By the way, we've got a lot of events. We're excited to be back in London, with COVID restrictions, that coming down finally. And notice it just kind of disappeared, right? It just literally disappeared. It's crazy, right? A pandemic like that, and it just like vanishes, and then we move on to, Will Smith's event. The Ukraine war isn't even there. You go on to Will Smith's, slapping somebody, or now, what's his name? The other guy who's got marriage problems. God, I forgot, but comment. Who is that? God. Forgot his name. Anyway. Anyway, he got beat up by his wife. Blanking out here, but you know what I'm talking about. Comment in on who that is, though. All right. Again, why are those things? And I'm just bringing out what the media is, pushing out there, right? And then everybody gets stuck. Johnny Depp, thanks guys. Johnny Depp's issues, right? Fefe was talking about, well, why aren't these high-level profile cases showing through? Why aren't they exposed? Right? So again, watch out for the media. I'm not saying the media is bad. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying you need to start to use your own intelligence, the natural intelligence, and that's what XI is about, right? Your natural intelligence to see what's really going on in the world. Because a lot of times it's a game, that they divert your attention here while something else is happening here, and there's a lot
Welcome to Bixby.
There's a lot of things happening. Put my phone on side here before it starts talking to me or listening in on me. Anyway, there's a lot of events happening in the world, guys, that you may not know of, that is going to affect, say, your future and your children's future. So you really, really need to look or dive deep into, say, the real news, right? Not the stuff that they keep your mind or attention or your valuable time busy with. So it's really, really important. This is where we start to wake up, and this is the year, by the way, where you have to wake up. And it's not about, if you want to take a look at, say, the World Economic Forum, take a look at that. That's interesting because that's what everybody is gravitating towards. By the way, it's really a plan that is put in motion, which is kind of scary. It literally is. It's worse than communism, I would suggest. But who knows? This is my point of view. So really take a look at that, because it's your responsibility, right? It is your responsibility. If you are not awakened, and somebody else is, that awakened person, whether it's for benevolent reasons or for totally a shyster, whatever it is, that awakened, say, frequency will dominate. That's all there is to it. It's not about being kind or nice or mean or whatever. It's just literally who is awakened. If you're not awakened, there's always an awakened frequency that will, say, control you. Simple as that. If you are awakened, then you're obviously aware of your surroundings, your events, the situations around you, and you can dominate your world. You can dominate your life. You can dominate, what's going to happen to you. Right? That's really the key. You're going to be forced to, say, awaken coming up. It's happening already. There's a lot of, say, deaths happening, unfortunately, right? A lot of suicides, things of that nature. Just, and you might go, well, it's because it's COVID and all that. Yeah, I can believe that, because COVID just accelerates whatever has happened to you. But there's many other scenarios, or depression. And it's not because the media's or the small group that runs this world. Even them, they're going to be awakening, going that there's a new sheriff in town, and it's called time and space, and exposes everything. And many of you are experiencing that, by the way. And this is why you need to know this information, the secret to success, because this is what's going to keep you. This is what's going to keep you stabilized and riding the wave, because this wave is not here for destruction. This wave is here for healing and clarity. Most individuals don't understand what healing is all about, what success is all about. We're going to dive into this right now, as a matter of fact. And then we're going to take two individuals where I'll scan them. I think it's Nina and Tom. They're on backstage. They're going to be ready just to see how powerful the frequencies of exponential intelligence, the physics of what I teach, which is based literally on, say, a new science, a burgeoning science. It's called Quantum Neuroscience. So you might want to take a look at quantum neuroscience, some of the concepts behind it, because if you're interested on, a methodology that can, say, transform your life rapidly fast. We're talking rapidly fast, and it's not anything to do with psychology or anything like that. Psychology or anything like that is very, very slow compared to, say, exponential intelligence, right? Or what your brain, or what your, say, essence, not your brain, what your essence, say, uses to transform your life. All right, take a breath in, and we'll make this an experiential experience. So many of you are probably feeling the frequencies that I'm generating for you. Some of you who are new might get kind of scared because it's like, shit, I feel different while I'm watching this guy, right? Well, it's because you are. You are becoming different. You're gravitating to a higher version of who you are just by listening to me. So imagine what a private, session would be, or the 18-day HyperMeditations, where we literally transform your life in 18 days, would be like. Okay. By the way, those frequencies is about the closest thing, say, next to nature. Right? It's a little more potent. So when you go to raw nature, like out camping, out in the wilderness, right? There's this presence that just takes over you, right? And it feels really good. And you can relax and be yourself. That's all you ever want to be. Literally, when you go out to raw nature, right? It's just like, wow, I can just be. And you might think, well, you forgot about, you're going to let go of your old life, right? You're going to let go of the office, your problems, all those things, right? And then you escape into nature. Well, why do you think that happens? What's the science behind why you can just relax in nature? Do you think it's just because you've let go of, or forgotten, for example, about yourself, your old self, and come into that, say, you've forgotten about who you are, all the problems and all that, and then you just escape? Well, it could be an escape for many, but many using XI can actually use that same formula in their lives, and that's really the key. But what that is, it's not about you letting go, taking a breather, or anything like that. It's about being in the present moment. Nature is so powerful. You stay there for a day or two, right? It literally consumes you. It pulls you back into, say, the natural essence, the natural presence of who you are. That's really the key. It pulls out everything about you. It starts to heal you. And you might go, well, it's the fresh air, it's the non-GMO organic foods that I might plant. We all want to go back to the simpler times. It's not about going back to the simpler times. It's about creating an environment. You can create this environment in and around you, for you and for others as well. That's the secret to success for everything, by the way. Okay, kind of giving it away. I was going to talk about it at the end, but might as well jump in and then generate that frequency for you while we're talking here. So again, going back to nature, if you stayed there, you would literally start to, say, balance or harmonize. You would start to heal. So what does healing mean? Well, healing means that at a deep level, at your, say, genetic makeup level, healing means that you are harmonized or resonating frequency-wise at the highest level that you can be at that moment. So for you to heal means that you remove any imperfections of your identity. So your experiences that you've had in the past, the abuse patterns you've had in the past, all those situations that have, say, tainted you or, say, created a crust over your frequency. Kind of like a guitar, a guitar string, right? You hold that guitar string, it has a different tune to it, right? You let it go, it naturally vibrates in its natural, say, essence. Well, your experiences, what you've gained from your parents, genetic, again, hereditary patterns and so on, those things, say, distort what you're resonating at. Nature pushes you to resonate at its purest level. That's why you feel so good. Some of you might go, well, I went into nature and then afterwards I got sick, or, you've heard that people go into the jungle. I've gone into the jungle, Amazon forest, to help the Machienga tribe out there. It's crazy, guys. We were out there for 10 days. It's deafening, by the way. The power of nature, it literally is deafening. All your insecurities show through. All your insecurities come out of you. Right? And then what happens is that you're supposed to go, oh, those are my insecurities. I need to leave them behind. Now remember this little clip, and I'll come back to it. And this is where I'll explain why people like Robin Williams, for example, why success didn't work out for them, or experts, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Jordan Peterson, and all those individuals that talk about success, what it's all about. They've got it all wrong. Okay? I'm not saying that their process is wrong, but then their journey towards a certain success, will get you in the wrong direction. Right? So we'll talk about that. So just remember that little clip, okay? Because it has everything to do with you becoming successful. And this is the one key element that everybody, no matter who they are, misses the point on. Right, and I could go. You name me a name that is successful, and I'll tell you why they missed it. Right, no matter how successful, no matter even how benevolent they've become, other than the greats out there, by the way, they say they could have done it a lot better to achieve even higher levels of success, to magnify them even more. All right, let's take a breath in. A lot of great comments. Like this one, I am a tree hugger. Yep, hugging trees will allow you to, there's actually science to that. It, for those people who are, feelers out there, hugging a tree basically helps you resonate at the same frequency of a tree. And you go, well, shit, would I turn into a tree? No, not necessarily. Unless you're distorted, you would turn into a tree, by the way. Or, if you've noticed, and people go, well, that's not true. Well, think of it this way. Given enough time, you resonate frequencies like a tree, you would turn into a tree. Simple as that. These are, say, cases where, people, say, resonate with animals more. Have you noticed, like a cat person or a dog person or whatever, they're trying to resonate with, right? Right? They feel safe and secure in that way. And I talked about the furries, which is a new trend, I guess, where high school students or students, young kids, they're starting to act like, well, they're pets. Cats, dogs, whatever. They're even wearing, the clothes, having tails, going in a litter box versus a toilet. Yes, that they're resonating because they don't like being human. So that's what I'm talking about. You start resonating at something, you morph into that something, by the way. So what are you resonating at? So success patterns have a certain, say, form of a resonance, different levels, different types of success. Success that destroys, like, say, sacrifice success. I have to give up this for this, right? That's a certain frequency of success. And this is the type of frequency that Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Jordan Peterson, Joe Dispenza, and all those great individuals. Again, I'm not knocking those people down, but with the proper use that you get taught here in XI, like with exponential intelligence, what I'm telling you can rapidly, massively transform whatever you've done. And you might go, oh, that's not true. Of course, you can believe whatever you want. It is what it is. But this is where a lot of people from Tony Robbins come to me. A lot of their platinum groups, a lot of people from Joe Dispenza, they come to me. And it's not like one or the other. This is the other thing about success, guys. Successful, highly successful individuals, okay? Whether it's like, say, money success, like physical success or spiritual success, they're both the same. And by the way, this is what we'll be teaching you in the driving event coming up. Huge opportunity for you to transform massively and really, gain some skills and confidence and snap into what highly successful, highly super successful, really, say, resonate at. That's a driving event coming up, by the way. So take a look at that on the website. Let's take a breath in and let's get into the logistics, okay, on why, say, achieving success can actually destroy you. And then we'll get back into what I was talking about with Tony Robbins and so on. Achieving success, why that can actually destroy you. Why does that happen? Right? You would look at all the great individuals, like say Robin Williams, Anthony Bourdain, and Kate Spade, and I could go on and on and on and on and on. And recently, more and more highly successful individuals, according to this, say, reality standards of success, They have everything. They have the looks, they've got the talent, they've got, the money, they've got the connections, they've got, say, the personality, or at least on the stage personality, and then they commit suicide. Why didn't success work? Right? If that is your definition of success, why doesn't it work for each and every one? Nature does not do that, by the way. The XI, the logistics of XI, the principles of exponential intelligence, or you becoming exponentially intelligent, you would never operate success in that manner. So what key element is that in that success mechanism that we look at from the outside going, shit, they've got it all? I mean, who wouldn't want to be around, say, Robin Williams, one of the funniest guys I know, right? Fantastic individual, super loving and all that. And then he's not here. He's gone. Why didn't success work? Why did he have, say, such a tragic life? Look at all those, fantastic entertainers. Why didn't success work for them? Do you think success is going to work for you if it didn't work for them at that level? Why do you think that type of success would be satisfying for you? And then there are people go, well, I see that level of success and that's what's going to happen to them. Or, you hear all the news stories, about highly successful individuals having, torturous relationships and so on like that, right? I'm going to stay away from success and not be successful, or even hide in a cave, right? And turn into a monk. Well, that doesn't work either, because, a lot of, there's a lot of people out there. Well, there's a lot of people out there that have torturous relationships. They have addiction patterns. They abuse themselves. They're unhealthy as hell. Right? They're unhealthy as hell. And then it's the same thing. So with success, without success, what's the denominator here? What's the common denominator that's happening? Is it even about success? Okay. And again, remember that two sentences I talked about, right? Nature, right? And going into the jungle, right? Magnifying everything. This is the key that, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Jordan Peterson, what their pattern is. Listen and look at them. And then there's a ton of great people, other great people as well, that you might be following, your gurus, your, leadership teachers, your spiritual masters and all that stuff. Again, there's a lot of spiritual people, or people who've gone through spiritual, say, mastery. They've even flown out east, to India and so on. They come back to me. It's like, Moss, I did this for, in 20 years and I'm still fucked up. Basically, they don't say it that way, but basically that's what I see. It's like, shit, you've done that for 20 years and you're running that, because I can read everything about you. And by the way, I'll show you what I'm talking about when I say read everything about you. I can get to the point of what's going on with you, literally just like that. And I'll show you with Naima and Tom coming up after this. Let's take a deep breath in. So why doesn't those work, right? What is the logistics? Now, again, I know, there's people that have gone through, those individual seminars and they've become successful. But then why do they come to me? Why are there millionaires and billionaires coming to me to go, shit, Moss, I want to know how to be successful? And I'm going, at first when they're coming to me, I'm going, I'm not a billionaire, why are you coming to me? Well, they're not happy. They're dying. I can tell you, I'm not going to tell you names, but these individuals, the medical industry, they're still dying. They're still aging like their parents. They're still destroying themselves. Again, they're aging just like society. They're getting the diseases like their parents and so on. They're not happy with their success. These guys are like high level people, again, billionaires, right? And again, the spiritual side, the spiritual people, this person, she had 2.5 years of deprivation. 2.5 years of light deprivation, not talking to people, off and on, but accumulation of about 2.5 years. What else? Not eating, all those things. So either way, why are they gravitating towards XI? Because they want to know the secret to success. Because those things, the physical things or the physical, say, variables that we denote as, oh, that's successful, is not the success that your natural genetic makeup is defined as. Success, you go back to nature. The reason why success is so, say, pleasing when you find yourself. So success is all about, say, defining those things that you do. It doesn't matter what you do. Make money, go on a spiritual, journey. It's the same thing as long as you are, say, connecting with your higher version of who you are, a higher understanding of who you are, what you're about here. That is the secret to success. And you might go, well, that's so out there. No, it's not. It's not out there. It's not something vague. It's not something that you work your ass off and then when you retire and have enough money, you're going to go back to it. That's the worst kind of success you can have because you've already, say, conditioned yourself to destroy yourself. So here's the key. Here's the key to everything that, the secret to success in everything that you do. Okay. There's two things actually. So take a breath in, and you might want to write this down. Right. One, no matter what you do, is it allowing you to define who you are at a deeper level? Okay. Science-wise, the way I would see you is that you have a, say, non-physical frequency. You might want to call it your spirit. I would call it your timeless self here. Okay. This is a projector of who you are. This essence, this presence projects the reflection of who you are here, your physical form, okay? Your human body, your experiences here, and your environment around you. This presence here projects this thing here. A lot of people, when they become successful, whether it is at a money level, again, physical success, or spiritual success, they separate from that self. That's why success doesn't work, okay? So again, the more separation you create for yourself, the less successful you'll become at a higher level and the higher propensity you will have to destroy yourself one way or another. Success will be meaningless the further and further you go away. If you don't believe me, ask anybody who is super wealthy. Many of you probably know that, who are on their deathbed. What do they say? Again, the value of success at that critical point, the real value of the success that they, say, sacrificed for comes out. Both sides, guys, both sides. Many of you go, I don't like that success. I'm going here, especially with the COVID thing, right? This is where a lot of people are going, shit, I've slaved my life away for all the success. And I'm really starting to understand what's really important. You're gravitating towards the other way, spending more time with your kids, your family, doing more stuff, which is really good. You're balancing it out, but too much of that is going to destroy you in this reality as well. Okay? Because you were meant for a higher version of who you are, not just the simpler times. So again, both sides does not work out well. So the secret, take a breath in again. Notice your, say, chest right here, your sternum bone. The secret is proximity. It's got nothing to do with mental attitude, your state change, psychology, what you believe in. Proximity. Is what you are doing pulling you closer and closer and closer to that projection of self? This is the I am state. This is where no matter who you are, even if you are atheist, even if you're an atheist, when you find yourself, so to speak, right? When you come into a higher version of yourself, you feel the grandness that you are. That's what I'm talking about. It's not spiritual or anything religious. It literally is straight out logistics. Your timeless self connecting to your time-bound self, or again, your projector, you as the screen of this reality, getting closer and closer with no filters in between. The closer you are, the more dynamic you are, the more wealthy you become, the more, say, vibrantly healthy you become. By the way, this isn't theory. I'm 61 years old. I'm getting younger and younger by the day. Blood work even shows it. There's tons of people out there, and again, comment in on how radically you've transformed, money wise, health wise, all aspects of yourself. That's what real success is about. Okay? How do you get there? There's 2 points. Take a breath in. One, no matter what you do, it doesn't matter if society thinks it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. Okay? As long as you're not destroying other individuals. Okay? Simple as that. No matter what you do I do this or do I do that? Okay? It doesn't matter what you're doing, no matter where you are. So the good thing about, say, this first step is that you can start off anywhere anywhere that you are. Okay, you can start off anywhere that you are, down in the dumps, severely depressed, almost suicidal. You can start off there. You don't have to, say, get better to do these techniques to become successful. In fact, many individuals who have been, say, highly successful or who are highly successful, they've been down in the dumps and they latched on to this, say, secret that I'm telling you about, and they've radically, say, transformed. So what this is, again, is that when you get pushed and shoved, it's a magnifier of who you are. Okay? It magnifies all the weaknesses, all the bullshit that you are not. The key to those individuals who become successful at a deep level, at say a destroyed level, down at the bottom of, down, I guess, in the dumps, the lowest, say, frequency that they can be, barely surviving type frequencies. Okay, what they do, what it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So again, the lowest, say, the lowest denominator that you might be at, right? You're severely depressed, suicidal, and so on, like that. Okay. Again, it's not your psychology that'll help you change on that. It is a magnifier of, say, what you're not. You have to remember that. It's showing you those things that you have to get rid of. Okay. So again, depression, anxiety, poor health, it's showing you those things that you're not. If you start to understand that, say, that one key concept, a lot of people, and I'll give you an example, a lot of people associate with their disease. It's like, oh, I've got cancer. I am cancer. And, your whole life dictates around cancer. I'm not saying you forget about, say, your cancer. But people who practice XI, they go, wait a second, I'm having an experience of cancer. Again, it's a separation of who you are and then who you're not, just like the guitar string, right? You start to peel away because your higher version of who you are, your spirit, is perfect. Your higher self is perfect. You're just having an experience of cancer. Now, it's not, many people go, well, I tried that. I'm not talking about psychology here, guys. I'm not talking about a belief system. Whether you believe in something or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't come true unless you resonate with that belief. So it's an internal, say, dialogue. It changes the frequency of your cells, right? With exponential intelligence. This is where you start to transform. Like this person here, I've transformed exponentially with Moz. This is where you start to transform your cellular, say, identity. That cellular identity says, hey, wait a second. Cancer is an outside, say, experience it's not me. It starts to morph into a healthier cell structure. And this is where people have, say, healed themselves of cancer or a lot of crazy ass diseases that, take people's lives, even suicide. In fact, my son, there's a lot of unfortunate kids, who are carrying the burdens of their parents, and they're depressed or suicidal. How many of you out there have kids that, there's a lot of depression in the high schools today? In fact, this past week, my son goes, some girl tried to commit suicide at school. And a lot of those individuals, they've brought kids over, confused and so on. Like one session, 5-10 minute session. The next day, I see them. It's like, thank you so much. I feel so much better. I'm not as anxious. Literally, I didn't change their psychology. I changed the frequency. I separated them from, say, the frequencies of their parents in this scenario, and they feel a lot better. And again, they're not just feeling better. They're not psychologically here. They're, say, massively coming into their own. Okay? So let's take a deep breath in, guys. And the next step, right, is one, if you're that, say, down in the dumps, you start to become aware, again, by spatial referencing, which we do in the 18 days. By the way, spatial referencing, you start to, say, separate yourself from the identities that you're not. You become successful. So why does successful? So people who were down in the dumps, they become successful and then they commit suicide, right? Why? Because they didn't let go of the pattern that created success. They hung on to that. So they had a chance to awaken, but then they didn't let go, and hence, unfortunately. So why doesn't success, say, any type of success done wrong, why doesn't it, say, soothe you or actually create success for you? Because success is a magnifier. So if you know this one thing, again, success is a magnifier. So it allows you to understand, just like nature. Remember that sentence I asked you to remember, where I said nature allows you to, say, see all the things that you're not. Okay. Success and failure, again, they're the same thing. It magnifies the things that you're not, so you can allow to leave it. But when you become successful and you've used, say, sacrifice, or you've used sacrifice to become successful, here's where it becomes a lot harder for those individuals who are successful to let go of stuff versus the ones who haven't had success. So you become successful by going, I need to sacrifice myself to become successful. I've created a multi-million dollar company and so on. So what's the logistics? What have you ingrained in your identity to make the next 100 million? And again, these are real clients. I need to sacrifice myself more. I need to abuse myself more. That's basically the mathematics, the mathematical equation that you created for yourself. So as you go higher and higher, you'll see that you go, shit, I'm sacrificing myself. I'm destroying myself. But then you're